Welcome to Econ Express, where I, the Budget Bell, guide you through the fascinating world of personal finance, investing, budgeting, and wealth-building strategies. Today marks the second video of our captivating mini-series, Budgeting in Action, Turning Theory into Real Results. In the description section below, you'll find a file containing a comprehensive list of the most common expenses individuals encounter. I encourage you to review these expenses and tailor them to your own circumstances as we embark on the journey of creating a practical budget. To illustrate the process, we will employ a budget app that serves as a powerful tool for tracking your financial progress. Together, we will input the relevant information, allowing you to witness firsthand how a budget can be personalized to suit your unique needs and aspirations. By following our demonstration, you'll gain the knowledge and confidence to forge your own path towards financial stability and success. Without further ado, I present to you Cash Commander, who will expertly guide you through the process of inputting this crucial information into our user-friendly budget app.
Thank you, Budget Bell. On the left-hand side of your screen, you'll find a convenient display showcasing a sample of income and expenses that will be inputted into our budgeting app, My Budget Book. Here, you can easily select them to be set as recurring, eliminating the need to manually add them every month. Now let's start. Open My Budget Book app. Choose the month and the year you want to start your budget. For our presentation, we will start with the date of July 2023 by pressing the right arrow key. Next, let's start by inputting my salary. Let's assume I make a single salary of $5,500 per month. Click on the plus sign located on the bottom right side of the app. Select Income, the middle option at the top of my app. In the title field, you can put the name of the job or business that pays you. Let's choose Chase Bank. Type Chase Bank and then press OK. In the comments section, you can include any relevant information. If it is a monthly salary, you can leave it blank. However, if it is a yearly bonus, it might be a good idea to specify that. For now, we can leave it empty by pressing Cancel. Next, type the date you get paid by tapping on the right side of the date. Select the day of the month you get paid. If it is the first day, leave it as it is. Then press OK. Next, enter how much Chase Bank pays me. Let's say I get paid $5,500 per month. So, tap on the right-hand side of the amount and input $5,500. If you make a mistake, tap on a C and re-enter the value. To save the value, go to the top right side and select the checkmark. Next is the category. Normally, this category is used for expenses so that you know where your money went. There you will find income. Select that option. For a subcategory, let's select salary and press the check mark on the top right side of the screen. If your salary is repetitive, such as monthly and on the same day, select recurring transaction. If you are working in the job temporarily, you can select the date of your last paycheck by choosing the Select Expiration Date option. In there, you can choose the day, month, and year of your last paycheck. In our case, we will just cancel. Next is the period of time for this income. By selecting period, you can choose daily, weekly, monthly, every 2 months, 3 months, and so on. For our purposes, we will leave it at every month. So press Cancel. If the payday falls on the weekend, most employers pay either a day before the weekend or a day after. By pressing the Execute on the weekend arrow on the bottom right side, you can select the option that fits you. For our case, we will choose a day before the weekend. The reminder feature lets you know when you get paid. Although it's hard to forget, you can set a reminder for the exact day, 1 day before, 2 days before, and so on. In our case, we will leave it blank. Thus, press the Cancel button. Add photo, and it will give you 2 choices. Either take a picture or select a picture you have taken previously. For our purposes, we will cancel that option. Lastly, if you make a mistake, you can clear everything by pressing the Clear fields option on the button. But if you are okay with what you have input, all you need to do is save them. To do that, select the check mark on the top side of the screen. Now, when you check your app, you will see a positive balance of 5,500 in your account. Next, we will move on to input, expenses, savings, and emergency funds. Let's input our monthly mortgage. For that, we will choose the plus sign on the right side of the button and make sure expense is selected. As you can see, it is. Next, we will leave both title and comments empty. For the date, let's choose the 15th of the month and press OK. Next, the amount. Let's set it to 2,300 and press the check mark on the top right side to save our mortgage value. Under the category, there is an option that says Home. Choose that one. If you are renting, you can choose rent. If you make a mistake, click on the 10 on the right of the category. In this case, since we own the home and are paying a mortgage, we can select the category again and choose Home tab. Now we choose the plus sign at the button right. Under the subcategory, type Mortgage and press the check mark on the top right. So now we can choose a mortgage. And there you have it. The category now is Mortgage Home. Next, you will choose the recurring transaction. In this case, it will show in your budget calendar that you have to pay every 15th of the month. For those of you who pay every 2 weeks, there's an option in the Period tab. In there, you can choose to pay to choose weekly, every 2 weeks, every 3 weeks, and so on. This makes life easier and saves you the inconvenience of inputting a second expense for the end of the month, assuming you are paying your mortgage twice a month or so. For our training, we will leave it for every month. Same as with our income. If your bank or loan institution withdraws the funds from your mortgage, but the date falls on a weekend, you can select whether it will be taken a day before or a day after by selecting the Execute on the Weekend tab. Normally, mortgage companies take the money a day after, so we will select that option. If you want a reminder when your mortgage is due, choose the Reminder option. Then you can choose how many days ahead of the due date you want to be reminded. For our case, we will choose a day before. You can also choose the time if you want to. We will choose noon and press OK. Adding a photo follows the same procedure as income. Once you are done, select the check mark on the top right side of the screen. We will use the same procedure to input credit card, car insurance, utility bills, and car loans. Let's do that right now. Let's start with the credit card payment of 80.00. Choose the plus sign on the bottom right side. Select Expense. For now, we will leave the title and comments empty. Move on to the date. Let's choose July 7th and press OK. Enter the amount of 80. Press the check mark on the top right side. Under the category, click on Not Assigned. Since this doesn't correspond to any of the existing descriptions, we will create a new one. Click on the plus sign on the bottom right side. In the category field, type Credit Card and select the check mark on the top right. Go back to Credit Card and tap on it. Let's input the credit card name Visa. Under the subcategory field. Now select the top right check mark. Now you can see we have a new category, credit card with a subcategory Visa. We can now go back to the main category by pressing the top arrow key on the left. Now, let's select credit card. Then select Visa. And there you have it. New category Visa credit card has been created. Next, if this is a recurring transaction and you always pay the same amount, select the recurring transaction option. But if you pay different amounts in some months, leave it unselected. The reminders and adding photos tabs have already been explained in previous examples. So, all we need to do is save the date we input by choosing the check mark on the top right. We have 3 expenses left. Since this process is repetitive, I will go through these three a bit quicker. Remember, we are just following the same process as the previous expenses. Let's input car insurance for 130. First, choose the check mark on the bottom right. Expense check mark is selected already. Title and comment tabs are left blank. Let's choose the date the 20th and press OK. Input amount of 130. For the category, select the Car tab. Then select Insurance. Lastly, let's the check mark on the top to save it. Next, let's input the electrical bill for 250. Select plus sign. Choose the date. Let's make it for the 17th of the month and press OK. Choose the amount of 250 and press the top right check mark. For the category, we choose Home and choose Electricity. As you know, electricity varies from month to month. So you can either put an average amount and keep it like that for each month, or leave it unchecked if it's not a recurring transaction. This is up to you. For the reminder and adding a photo, we will leave it blank. Let's save it and input our last bill, which is the car loan for 750. Once again, we go to the plus sign on the bottom right. Choose a date. Let's say the 3rd, press OK. Next, enter the amount. 750. Press the check mark on the top right. For the category, choose Car. Then select Loan. Since the loan subcategory does not exist, let's create it. Press plus sign on the button right. Type Loan under the subcategory tab. And press check mark on the top right. Now we can select Loan. Save it by pressing the top check mark on the right. If it's the same amount every week or month, choose Recurring Transaction. By default, it chooses monthly, so let's check mark it. Once again, choose the day before or after if it falls on the weekend. Let's choose Before, then press the check mark on the top right to save it. Before we move to savings and emergency funds, check all the categories inside the expenses. You will see them all. On the screen, you can see all the expenses we have input. Our initial balance was 5,500. Since these 8 expenses are coming due, after paying them off, we are left with a positive balance of 1,990. Next, let's input savings and emergency funds. For that, we need to create a category for them. Select the plus sign on the bottom right. Go to Category, press plus sign on the bottom right. In the main category, type Emergency Fund. And press the check mark on the top. Repeat the same procedure for savings. Now you can see both new categories. Now, let's choose each new category, Emergency Funds and Savings, and enter 100 for each. All done? Remember, these are not exactly expenses. These are investments for your future. It's important to include them in your budget. Our final balance after all these expenses is 1,790. We all know that unexpected expenses arise, such as clothing or eating out. If you want to keep track of all your expenses, I suggest inputting any purchase or expense into my budget book right after making it. Otherwise, you may end up forgetting. For example, if today you decide to go to the movies and spend 50 Simply enter it in the Budget Book app. Go to the plus sign on the bottom right. Next, click on Category. Then Free Time. And select Cinema. Add $50 to the amount you spent. Our final balance after all expenses is $1,740. Now, let's do a recap and analysis of everything we have input in our Budget Book app. On the top of your screen, you will see 5 options: Overview, Transactions, Statistics, Diagram, and Budget. If we select Overview, you will see a full year of transactions, both income and expenses. These will stay the same, unless you change them. Just remember, these are recurring transactions only. Non-recurring transactions will not show up in the next months ahead. Next, let's go to Transactions option. Here, you will see all our transactions, recursive and non-recursive, for the entire month of July 2023. It gives us detailed information on transactions with the date. Under Statistics, you can see an overview of all your expenses with each subcategory in it. Next, we see the Diagram option. In there, you can see in a graphic way where you are spending your money the most. This is a crucial chart. And last, but not least, we have the Budgets tab. Once we have a fairly good understanding of where your money comes and goes, this Budget tab is a must to complete. We will dedicate a video to this tab in the near future. For now, it is important you realize where your money goes and be proactive about it. This concludes Video 2 on budgeting in action, turning theory into real results. In the third video, we will discuss the following: how to back up and restore your income and expense data, how to create a CSV import file so you can transfer it to Excel, clearing all transactions from the system. Stay tuned and don't forget to hit the subscribe button now and unlock a world of financial knowledge at your fingertips.